O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. Stand up for your country. The best campaign coverage in America continues this evening. I know it's braggadocio, but I'm backing it up. Tonight, an interview with Senator JD Vance. And this is no cupcake interview. This is on the issues, the policies. And you're going to be impressed. And if you're not, or you are, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, bill@BillO'Reilly.com. I want your reaction, name and town, of course, name and town. Now, we're also going to analyze Governor Walz's speech last night, third night Democratic convention, and give you a preview of Kamala Harris's speech tonight. That's going to all take place in the next 42 minutes. All right? So I wanted to get JD Vance on this program because I had never met him. I've never spoken to him. And it took us a while, and I had to get deeply involved in it because I don't quite think that the Trump campaign understands the reach of the No Spin News. We gave you the stats last night. I reach far more people now than I ever reached with the O'Reilly Factor on a Fox News channel. And we have those stats posted now on the website, BillO'Reilly.com. Millions and millions and millions of people. YouTube, Spotify, on and on and on and on. And we ran them down. And we're going to run them down again tonight. It's crazy what's happening. But Donald Trump himself is an American who consumes news the way he's always had, network and cable. He doesn't go into the social media realm, even though he runs a social media company. This is where the action is. This is where the eyeballs are, as they say. And I'm so happy. It took me 7 years to do this, to create this empire, but it's worth it because I reach now far more people, as I said, than I did on cable television. And a lot of those people are not Republicans or Democrats or conservative or liberal. They're kind of float. All right? And so we're going to tell you about JD Vance this evening. Interesting guy, interesting cat, as Dennis Miller would say. So Mr. Vance, tough upbringing, wrote a book about it, Hillbilly Elegy, huge bestseller, made into a movie by Ron Howard, big movie, and that's how he got famous. And before that, he went to Ohio State, he went to Yale Law School, so the guy's obviously smart. He's in the military, primarily in a journalistic capacity. Overseas. He's got quite the resume. And then 2022, he was elected with the help of Donald Trump as a senator from Ohio. And straight talking guy. I was surprised when Trump picked him as VP. I thought he would go for somebody else that, a woman that would give him a little bit more of an edge because he needs women voters. But after talking with Senator Vance, and you'll see it, I understand a bit more why Vance was selected. Okay. So he's 40 years old. He's married. He's got 3 kids, minors, he's raising the kids. And he was in Omaha, Nebraska this morning where we caught up with him. Go. So I appreciate you taking the time out there in Nebraska. We're talking to you early in the morning, but you look good. All right. I'm a mess. But you look good, Senator. But thank you for taking the time. This is a policy interview. But before I get to that, 6 months ago, your life was fairly organized as far as the Senator of the United States is concerned. Now, it's 180 degrees different. Since you got the nod for VP, give me 2 things that have surprised you about the whole process.
Well, the first thing that I have to point to, Bill, is having a Secret Service detail is just a wildly different thing. I think for my kids in particular, Bill, we have a 7-year-old boy, a 4-year-old boy, and a 2-year-old girl. They can't just walk out the front door and go to their friends' houses anymore. It's just a slightly different world, right? So I think that has been the biggest just adjustment for the family. I think the really big positive surprise is just you see the country in a totally different light as a VP nominee. And what I mean is, I've run for Senate before, did it 2 years ago. You drive around the state of Ohio, which is, of course, my favorite state, in the back of a used Subaru. Now I'm flying around in a plane going to every corner of the country. And you just, whenever we're on the ground, I try to drop into some place that's local, a chocolate shop, an ice cream shop, a deli, just to sort of talk to people and see what it's like on the ground. And it's just a totally different way of looking at our country. It makes you realize, Bill, we have the most beautiful country in the world. And I always try to remind, my fellow conservatives, my fellow Republicans, there is a lot for us to be grateful for and a lot for us to be hopeful about. The problem with this country, it's not our workers, it's not our natural resources, our incredible beauty. The problem is leadership, and that's why we're doing what we do.
All right, so let's get into the policy stuff. So one of the big issues, as everybody knows, is the open border, which has caused an amazing amount of pain for the United States of America. And we're talking about drugs, we're talking about fiscal issues, cities going bankrupt, chaos, crime, on and on and on. So Donald Trump, and I think you subscribe to this from my research, wants to deport a massive amount of people, millions of people. So my analysis says that's almost impossible. How could a Trump administration deport millions of people?
Well, Bill, before we get to that, I think it is important to set this up and say you have to stop the bleeding, first of all, right? That's the most important thing. And the thing where I think most Americans actually have near uniform agreement on is we've got 25 million illegal aliens in this country right now. Let's not add to it, right? Let's actually re-implement deportations, re-implement President Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, stop this process of catch and release, where for your viewers who don't fully appreciate this, what this really means is that you come into the country, you're asked by your government to come back maybe 10 years down the road, maybe 5 years down the road, but it's effectively a blanket amnesty policy for anybody who says that they're persecuted, even if they're just a traditional economic migrant. That is one of the biggest reasons why we have this wide open border.
True.
So stop all that stuff, right? That's first.
Okay.
So you're right. Okay. So once you stop all that stuff, now you've got 20 million, 25 million people. You have to figure out what to do with them. And I guess the way that I think about it, Bill, is, it's kind of like being asked, well, you have a sandwich and it's 10 times the size of your mouth. How do you actually eat the whole thing? And you take it one bite at a time, right? And I think you start with the million most violent, most criminal illegal alien elements. There's probably, of the 20 million, there's probably a million who've committed some violent crime. That's an estimate, but I think it's pretty close to the truth. You deport them first and you focus on them first. And then I think you go down the list from there.
Are you going to have a special federal task force set up to track down violent migrants?
Well, I think you start with the people, again, who have committed crimes, right? So they're going to be in some local database. Obviously, not every violent criminal is easy to track down, but a lot of them are because they're in the eyes of some local law enforcement.
What if they're in prison, though? Would you take them out and send them out, or they serve their full sentence and then you kick them out? What do you do?
I think it depends, but my attitude would be send them back to their home country, let their home country imprison them. Because one of the biggest problems with our local budgets, Bill, and the problems caused by illegal aliens is, it costs a lot of money to jail illegal aliens.
Sure.
It costs a lot of money to school their children. And it costs, of course, a lot of money to provide medical care. So I think get them back to their country of origin, especially if we're talking about that violent, hardened criminal element. And then I think, look, you are right, Bill, that there are going to be some people where it's very hard to find them. But I think that there are a lot of people where it will be easy to find, and you have to be willing to deport these people if you're going to have a real border policy.
Okay.
I mean, let me
but
just
you're
give
going
you
to have to go through. You're going to have to go through the federal court system to do it, because the ACLU is going to file lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. But that's okay. I mean, I want to just get your vision about what to do. So then you have, I put the number at about 15 undocumented migrants who are law-abiding people. And have you and Donald Trump talked about a process for those people? Are you going to make them register? What are you going to do to find out what their circumstance is?
Well, I think one other just additional thought here, and it's responsive to that question too, Bill, is we can actually do a very good job of deporting illegal immigrants if we just make it harder for them to work in this country in the first place.
You'd have to get Congress to pass a law that punishes employers who hire illegal aliens. It's not going to be easy to do that, particularly if the Democrats control one house on Capitol Hill. All right, so
Bill, it's not going to be easy. I agree with you. It's not going to be easy to do, but I think it's important to do, Bill, because if you if you really want to have a battle with the Democrats over who respects and represents American workers. You've got one party that's trying to make it harder to hire illegal labor and undercut American wages. You've got another party that's fighting that effort. I think that's a fight
Did
that's
you
worth
ever
having.
think about why the Democrats want the open border? Because they clearly do. The Democratic Party clearly wants an open border. They do not want any standards of who enters the country and who doesn't. Have you thought about why they want that?
You know, I have, Bill, and I don't think you have to think that hard because the Democrats are very open about this. I mean, if you look at Chuck Schumer's floor speeches or go back a few years, what Joe Biden was saying on the floor of the United States Senate, they explicitly want to grant large numbers of illegal immigrants the right to vote. And they think that they're going to vote for Democrats, and they think that's going to permanently make Republicans a minority in their own country. I think this is a very real driver of what you're seeing at the southern border.
That they want to load up the demographics and change the state like California's changed and Arizona and New Mexico. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Let's go to the mail. We got Ralph, concierge member. Ralph is a smart guy. Direct access to me. Please check out BillO'Reilly.com concierge membership. What has Michelle Obama done that makes her qualified for being president? What did Donald Trump do that made him qualified to be president? Come on. Michelle Obama was first lady for 8 years. Made decisions. So that's not a fair question. Anybody can be president. It's a matter of their vision and their discipline. Sam Hockaday, McKinney, Texas. Will an RFK endorsement finish Harris and the Dems? No. It hardly has anything to do with it. Okay? He'll ally himself with Trump because he wants a job. But it's not going to be big. Peter Lyons, Seagirt, New Jersey. Love the No Spin News. You say, O'Reilly, non-citizens can't vote. It's a federal crime. Who in the administration would prosecute them? It's a state crime. Okay? The Constitution says only citizens can vote, but the states are in charge of enforcing. Some states will, some states won't. Angela on Capon, Chino Hills, California. I'm getting tired of Trump's greatest hits. Just today in California, he gave his usual speech about open borders, but failed to highlight the murderer from Peru that you spoke about, O'Reilly. Come on, he can't be on everything. Trump is decent on the border. He was very effective with the Remain in Mexico policy, so let's give him a break there. Okay. John Robert, Milton, Delaware. Have you ever written a book about Ronald Reagan killing Reagan, John? David Spano, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just received my 4-mug set. Cup of No Joe, Team Normal, Stand Up for Your Country, Not Woke. Outstanding. Packaged very well. Fast delivery. Can't wait to display them. Get those mugs. Memorabilia, political memorabilia. Joe Ortiz, Milton, Florida, just finished Killing the Witches. Great book. I'm hooked. Can't wait for Confronting the Presidents. Excellent review on Confronting the Presidents today in the New York Post. Cindy Adams. We have it posted on BillO'Reilly.com. Book comes out September 10th. Order now. We won't bill you till it's shipped. Get it first. Confronting the Presidents. All right, word of the day, do not be lugubrious, Lugubrious. Final thought in a moment. You work hard to support yourself and your family, but it may seem like you never take that next financial step forward. If the bills are higher than what you bring in, a credit card might be what's making up the difference for you. The problem is the debt keeps on growing. Well, if you own a home, my friends at American Financing can help you break that cycle. American Financing saves people like you an average of $854 a month. Even better, it costs nothing to find out how much you can save. And if you call American Financing today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So start your journey towards being credit card debt-free. Please call 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. Hey, O'Reilly here, and you know I'm a proud American. That's why I rely on My Patriot Supply. Their Omega 3-month emergency food kit comes packed with 33 varieties of fillings, delicious foods like creamy rice, old-fashioned Italian spaghetti. It also comes with a bonus protein kit that has diced beef, flavorful chicken, beans, 9 different fruits, and vegetables. This emergency food kit provides 2,500 calories per day to keep you well-fed and ready for anything. It is my duty to protect my family without waiting for handouts. We don't want that in the O'Reilly home. And that starts with food you can depend on to make you independent. So please go to preparelikebill.com right now. Save $300 on your mega 3-month emergency food kit. It ships fast, free. So please go to preparelikebill.com. Save $300 on your kit, preparelikebill.com. All right, here's the final thought of the day. Our membership here is skyrocketing. Welcome all new members. And the reason is our viewership and listenership around the world is now dwarfing what I did on the O'Reilly Factor. Listen to these stats, okay? Combined views in July of this year, 2024, last month, 26 million. YouTube views, 20 million. Podcast views, we break off some stuff, put them in a podcast format, 5 million. Summer so far, 43 million views on YouTube. Can you believe that? X followers, 3.3 million. Follow Bill at Bill O'Reilly. Those stats are stunning. It is over for the corporate media. Over. That is what we have. Next week, we will have all 4 O'Reilly Trump History Tour shows because I'm off on vacation. I'll be back the Tuesday after Labor Day. I need the break. But we're not sleeping. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, you will get each show in full. Everybody can see it. BillO'Reilly.com, not just Premium and Concierge members, everybody. You care about your country, and you know people who are on the fence about this election. You steer them in. All policy, no BS about the election, none of that. No grievance, bang. All right? Each night is different. So we are providing that service for you. We hope you take advantage of it. I'm going to miss you guys, but I will be back charged up September 3rd. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you then. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a Premium or Concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.